Oh, it's Fred Hodgins in Ontario, Canada. And the other day, a few of the people in our private community asked me to put something together on things that we've learned and things that I've picked up out of this book. This book is from Robert Kiyosaki. It's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I met him in 98. Got a signed copy of the book here. And also out of this book, the Cashflow Quadrant. So I'm going to teach some things I've learned that changed our lives. Started back in the 90s. And right now it's 2026, June 2026, as I'm recording this. And hopefully you get some value out of this, some simple things that can change your life. I'm going to get into a little bit of health, but in finances, as we're going forward in this area, this time of our lives where inflation is going crazy and there's so much going on in the world, a way to add some peace, some economic stability. So let's just jump right into it. So this is a copy of these two books. As you can see, the one on the left is pretty earmarked and beat up. That's the signed copy. That's Robert Kiyosaki's signature in 98. We were at a seminar, and I've learned a lot. I've applied this. This is just, I opened up the book and thought I'll just take a picture of show that I have highlighted it right here. If you desire of being rich, you must focus. Put a lot of your eggs in a few baskets. The greatest secret of winners is their failure inspires winning. He says American public, and this would be true for Canadian, struggles financially because they play not to lose. So just this book is just full of timeless wisdom. It applies today just as much as it did back in 98. I'm going to be talking a lot more out of this book, Cash Flow Quadrant. And because this is where I was, this is where I started, is in an employee side. And 95% of the population is on this side of the quadrant, right? Employees, self-employed. Self-employed could be someone that has a small business, without a system, say like it could even be a professional like a chiropractor, right? Or an accountant that's running their own office, right? So they own a job. 1% of the wealth is on this side. I'm not saying that you can't do well over time, but there's a lot of risk here. I've done other videos on that for our private community. But on the left, on the right hand side, this is basically what I do today is I teach people how to get from this side of the quadrant to this side, to business owners owning a system in investing. I'm not a certified financial planner, but there's some strategies that you can do that you don't need to be. But here's the key: 99% of the wealth today is on this side of the quadrant, whereas only 5%, and it's actually less than that, probably 2% of the people are on this side, and everybody's struggling over here. Think of it as in a pond, and over here is the ocean. I wanted to get onto this side. So there's this little chat's going to be about the three ways to earn income. This fella's got a job, right? So he's applied. He's went to school. Got an education. I did that, but I took trade school, right? And he's got a boss. This fellow over here is the boss, and someone else owns the wheel. Now, this gal, she has her own business, right? Let's just say she's a chiropractor or an accountant, but she's a small business owner. There's a saying in business that says the customer is the most important. While that is true, it's not the full truth. The owner who's providing the value is the most important, but she's got to be doing everything from the bookkeeping to to getting the customers to supplying the product and service. And after a while, we find out when we own here, I've been in this wheel, is the wheel owns you. And we're going to talk more about this economic engine. See this fellow, he's kind of relaxed. He over here, she's sweating, right? This guy's running, he can't own the wheel. She owns the wheel, but she's sweating. She's running faster than he is. Over here, he's got an oil can and he's developed a system, an engine that's turning the wheel. So the engine is turning the wheel. So let's just dig into this. And we kind of talked about this right here, a boss being a job. I'm not saying anything's wrong with this. It's just not going to create wealth. And I transitioned into this wheel. We owned a franchise. I wanted to get out of here, even though I had a great job working in a refinery as an electrician, had a good income. I knew it wouldn't be enough to sustain me for retirement and to live the life that I wanted. So I tried over here. And then when I met Mr. Kiyosaki and I read that book, I realized there was another way, another system. So this here is just another page I opened up randomly before I started this, the signed copy. And here it says, when I speak to adults who want to earn more money, I always recommend the same thing. I suggest taking a long view of their life. Look at your future self, develop your not for the present, but for the future, your future self. And now that I'm 65, right, I can look back and some of the things that I can teach what worked for us. So instead of simply working for money and security, which I admit are important, I suggest even a second job that will teach a skill. Learn skills. Often I recommend joining a network marketing company, also can be called multi-level marketing. Some of these companies have excellent training programs and help people get over their fear and so forth. I took that seriously, right? I took that seriously. And so the economic engine, let's talk about developing an economic engine. Our system, our team is called Team Leverage, turning leverage into freedom, one house at a time. We've partnered with a publicly traded company that's on the NASDAQ called LifeVantage. And our system is really ITT, right? So we just ask people if they're open to looking. And then we use a tool. This tool is booking a strategy session where someone else tells the whole story so you don't have to. And then we just introduced other folks on the team, other people in the community, and this is the basics of the Team Leverage Pro system. We've created for our team, and this is just using me as an example, but we call it a contact page. And from this page, the people can get a hold of us, and it links to down here. We got more information. It's all online. And can link to after we go through the strategy session. This is a summary of the strategy session. We also have a website called LV Connector, right? Where ABC News did an investigative report on this little biotech company, and they showed that what a medical breakthrough this was at reducing oxidative stress. That was 20 years ago, and we've created a whole system around this. So just real quickly about we got some hero products with LifeVantage, where there's other videos about the importance of this. Like there's over 400,000 studies about oxidative stress. There's over 200,000 studies on gut microbiome and gut health. And so this video is not about the products, although you have to have an outstanding product and a system and a company. You just can't have something me too, or be in the wrong field at the wrong time, like a travel deal or being in, say, cell phone services right now, right? Maybe 25 years ago, that was a good deal. So to start your economic engine, in our case, we become a consultant, right? We have access to products. We save 20% on all our on our personal orders, access to a complete system, which includes the Team Leverage system. So you earn income, which is a good thing, right? To overcome the economic reality, to overcome inflation, but also have tax advantages. This is most people don't talk enough about this. By having a home-based business and a network marketing business, the government actually subsidizes your purchases because you have a business of your own, and you're part of a system. So with our economic engine, this is the goal, is develop this economic engine where your engine is turning the wheel and it gives some peace, some peace of mind, some financial security. And so in our case, we simply use the products, right? And again, there's other videos explaining the products. And when I do the strategy session, we get into that a lot. We got products for animals. You can see here this hair care system, what it's doing, a weight management system, reducing oxidative stress, and so forth. But we got to keep it simple. I'm a blue collar guy. I'm not a professional. I'm not a biochemist. So if we simply use the products, this puts the key in the economic engine, right? Is simply using the products. And then in our system, if with one customer, we're unlocking the whole economic engine, right? And that one customer can be your spouse. Now, if you're not married, don't go out and get married to take advantage of this strategy because it can be anyone that you resonate with. It could be your mom, your sister, a cousin, could be your neighbor, someone at work. There's no recruiting pressure with our system. Just one customer, again, it can be your spouse. And we consume the products and we save money. So that unlocks this whole economic engine to hopefully get out of while you're doing wheel number 1 or 2 to get into wheel number 3. Again, this just emphasizes that one customer is what unlocks it. This is an audited financial statement that our company LifeVantage puts out every year. And when I talk income, I'm required by regulations and the actual law to show an audited financial statement. If you're seeing a program in network marketing and they don't show you their sheet, that's a red flag. So where would you want to be on this chart, right? And I'm going to dig into this a little bit more, but on a monthly basis, to have an ongoing, repeatable income coming in month after month after month because people buy the products because they want them. It's replacement buying plus much more. So in our system, if we just share with 2 people that want tax advantages, want better products, want better health, and that we teach sharing 2 by 2, just in this case, the average it takes us 6 months to earn an extra $6,000 a month. And actually, a lot of people do it faster following the team leverage system. But at 3 households from you, this is taking a life of its own. And this is just with 15 people with just one customer, right? And people want these products. If we get a little bit more skill and you show a few more people the strategy, have a chat, show them the strategy, and you enroll just say 5 people because we're not limited to 2. Now we're talking $20,000 a month. Again, I've done videos where I've explained this, but the key is what you and one customer, and that customer can be your spouse. Here we're talking, just say, over the course of a year, it's 10 people. You've seen the strategy. We're talking an extra $40,000 a year. The average takes us 14 months for this, just with a household and a customer. And we're not limited to just a couple generations or a couple households from you. We actually get paid for 9 plus. There's more to this. But in this case here, with just if you enrolled 10, it could be 5 and they enrolled 10, right? Everybody has their own enterprise and has access to the same system. But now we're talking over $100,000 a year, $15,000 a month. And this is at 37 months of people following the system. So where would you want to be if you could develop an economic engine with products that are a medical breakthrough and proven by science too? It's not me just saying that. And that our company's done $3 billion in revenue, and we're just getting started. Where would you want to be income-wise on a repeatable income? And here's the months that it takes. Well, has anybody done this? Well, this is some of my friends that have done this, colleagues, down at this presidential rank, it's called. That's a 7-figure yearly income, a six-figure monthly income, more than most people make in a year in a month. And these are just some of my friends that have done this. I just want to show, yes, people have done this. But here we have hundreds of people that are earning this $10,000 to $50,000 a month, right? We have thousands of people generating this 1,000 to 10,000 a month. This is life-changing income because it's repeatable. And then hundreds of thousands of customers experiencing the results from the products. This is probably the most important slide. So on that, most important part of our company is real customers are buying the products because they want them. So I had Chad help me out with the cash flow quadrant, and team leverage is the system. Cash flow quadrant built with team leverage. We teach you leverage. On this side is employees and self-employed. Our goal is to help people move from this side to this side. We're 99% of the wealth, and yet 1 or 2% of the people are, right? So we build teams, we build and teach systems, we build legacy, generational legacy income, and it's much more than money. It's health, relationships, freedom, purpose. And so the three ways to earn income, one is a job, just to repeat, we're closing with this, is a job, you do not own the wheel, where you own the wheel, but the wheel actually owns you, and you got to hustle. You do have to hustle in the beginning to get started, but if you follow the system, you can develop an economic engine. Robert Kiyosaki said in his book that the wealthy people build networks, right? So, and that's just a tip. So hopefully that's of value to you as you're learning more about building this economic engine. Here, let me just stop the presentation and I'll speak to you in a second. So it's our goal to move people from the left side of the quadrant to the right side. It's our goal to help people with their health, to solve big problems and have a simple system. Uh, I worked in a refinery, had that job, had a small business, had the wheels owning me. And when I discovered LifeVantage and then this system, within a year, I no longer needed that job. That was 12, 13 years ago. We haven't had a job since. And now I'm just teaching this. I just turned 65 and my goal is to bring more people to help more people have that economic freedom and economic security that we have. So hopefully this was of value. Wishing you all the best on your journey in life. And let's just go change the world. Let's go have some fun and let's change the world. All right. All the best to you and your family. We truly care about you.